Hi, this is Umberto Mattei, Solution Designer at Mindflow, and today I would like to talk a little bit about how Mindflow can help on IT operations. For instance, something like getting an application installed on our laptop. Usually, this type of process works in the following way. We have to fill in a very lengthy request form where we have to state our email, our application, and also lots of details like our full name or our device operating system, so that a ticket gets created and an IT administrator handles the request. This is not necessarily the most efficient nor user-friendly way of doing things, especially because we know that many of these details are sitting somewhere in the company within our tools, like for instance the CMDB. Instead, it would be great to have a system where we have, for instance, let's say an IT triage agent who's capable of collecting some key information like the email of the user, the application they want to get installed, and then go and fetch the remaining information by interacting with the tools of the company. And the great thing of having an agent is that we do not really have to specify each single action leading to getting this ticket created with all the relevant information. Let's have a look at how it works in practice. So over here, I have a Mindflow native chat. We typically use this for testing agents or for some specific use cases, but we do also integrate with tools like Microsoft Teams or Slack for communications. Over here, I just tagged an agent I created and I gave them my email address, and I also gave them the application I want to get installed, like for instance, the Office package. Let's have a look at the agent configuration. So basically over here, we have within the configuration a clear scope and some simple instructions. So this is a triage assistant, and what they have to do is to fetch the email address from the user message. They have to fetch the application ID from an application catalog emulator we defined, and fetch device details from the CMDB. Then they have to use ServiceNow in order to create a new ticket that will be handled, and then the application will be installed by the IT administrator. Over here, we of course state the resources of the application, and the resources are in particular configured under the Tools tab. For CMDB and the application catalog, we use emulators, but we can integrate with many different tools. And then we also integrate with ServiceNow and Microsoft Graph. What's interesting about integration is that not only we state the tools we want to integrate with and the credentials, but we also have access to the full list of API operations that are available. And we get to decide which ones the agent is allowed to perform. So we do a whitelisting of the operations that seem the most relevant to us. This provides not only very specific context to the agent, but also the security guardrails we need when we want to work with a system that is autonomous. Within the Logs tab, we can actually see what the agent is doing. And in particular, if I go to the last execution I kicked off with the message, I see that the agent went into Microsoft Graph to fetch the user details. Then they went into the emulators to fetch the details about the application and the device they use. And then they went into ServiceNow in order to create a ticket with all the relevant information. if I log onto my ServiceNow instance, I can see that a ticket was actually created by the agent. And within this ticket, I will find all the relevant details in order to get the application installed, such as the full name of the user, the department, application ID, and device details. And if I go back now to the chat that I opened just before, I will see that the agent actually answered with all the details that they fetched. So in practice, what we saw is how Mindflow can actually help when it comes to AT operations. And this type of solution can be expanded to other parts of the workflow, like for instance, the installation of the actual application for an end-to-end automation. Thank you.